If you're thinking about selling your house, you're probably wondering, how do I get this sold fast and for top dollar in today's real estate market? I'm hearing price reductions. I'm hearing the market may be dipping just a little bit. Well, on today's episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast, we're going to go over with you proven strategies to get your home sold fast and for top dollar in today's real estate market. You guys enjoy this episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast. Here we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast, where we bring you the most up-to-date, relevant real estate information you're going to find anywhere on the planet. You are going to get that right here. Thank you for tuning in for another action-packed, information-filled episode where we're diving into a subject today that all of you selling a house right now are sitting out there wondering about. How do I get my home sold fast for top dollar in what's going on in today's real estate market? We're looking forward into diving into that with you. I'm Mike Elkins with Elite Realty Group in Morristown, Tennessee. Got my co-host with me, Mr. Dave Elkins. How's it going, my man?
Pretty good, man. This weather just keeps getting better and better and better. I like it.
Spring has sprung.
Yes.
No doubt about that. The weather's turned, at least here in East Tennessee. We're going to have a little cold snap here in the next few days for just a few days, but it's turned. With the turning of the weather, the blooming of the trees, the flowers starting to poke through, not only comes all the allergies.
Yeah, we'll say the allergies are kicking in.
It comes, okay, y'all, I'm putting my house on the market and I'm getting it sold.
Yep.
However, I really think we can say this pretty confidently. Across the country, the real estate market is adjusting.
Yes, it is.
It is adjusting. I think in the last 2 weeks in our area here in East Tennessee, we've had over 120 price reductions.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's
adjusting.
big. That's big.
That's adjusting.
Yep.
There's a reason for that, and we're going to cover that today. So I'm going to hold that thought for a minute. There's a reason why there's so many price reductions. Can I go ahead and let the cat out of the bag, though? It has nothing to do with the real estate market crash.
Right.
It has everything to do with people needed this information we're about to give. They needed it about 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago.
Yeah, we've said that before. Some people need to wake up.
Yes, they need to make sure they're on board with what's happening in today's real estate market. You will agree, I will agree, the listener will agree, the viewer will agree. This market's changing rapidly.
It is.
And if you don't adapt and adjust to it, if you're trying to do 2 and 3 years ago marketing, if you're trying to do 2, 3 year ago strategies, you're out.
Yep.
Like you're out, and you're out a lot.
Yeah. I'm going to say this right here real quick too, because when you said marketing, this popped in my mind. Like, there was a lot of realtors that come into the industry in the last 2, 3, 4 years.
Yes.
And we have said this for a long time, but those people come in and they was spoiled.
Oh, man.
Because you could literally list anything for any price and you was probably going to sell it.
Fast for top dollar, multiple offers.
So therefore, a lot of the newer people are struggling right now of even how to market a property.
There's no doubt.
It used to be you could go out and just take the worst pictures.
Yes.
And you were still going to get people in the door.
Yes.
Pictures, man. I think we're going to dive into that
We
here in a minute.
are. Yeah, we are. I actually was at a meeting this morning. That topic came up, that's a little bit of friction in the real estate market right now, and it's self-inflicted. And it's because of the things you just talked about. There were so many people came into our industry during that time, and nothing against nobody, and did super well.
Yeah.
But that was not normal. There was nothing normal about any of that. And communication-wise, marketing-wise, dealing with clients-wise, contract-wise, like they're not adapting to what's normal.
Right.
It's causing a little bit of friction.
Yep.
Even I think the information they're putting out is causing friction.
Absolutely.
Because those people, and I'm going to go ahead and say rightfully so, those agents that came in during that time that it was easy to do what we do, they think the walls are falling down.
They're in a little bit of a panic mode right now.
The sky's falling for them because they don't know these proven strategies even themselves.
Yeah.
And there's just some things you got to do today. You're listing a house. You're a seller out there. You're thinking of selling a house. When you're interviewing those agents, as we've told you, you better be doing interviewing multiple people to see who fits in your box.
Yep.
When you're interviewing those people, these are questions you need to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Are these people going to be doing the things that need to be done to get my home sold fast? That's still happening.
Yep.
Fast, top dollar, still happening. And for not a lot of hassle today, that's all still happening. We're diving into that. We got 4 proven strategies that you are going to want to hear today. Here we go. Here's number 1. Okay. And this is why I'm going to go ahead and say in our market, we saw over 120 price reductions in the last 2 weeks. Okay. Because strategy number 1 is proven strategy. There's no questions about this. Number 1 proven strategy, if you want to get your home sold fast for top dollar in today's real estate market, is you have to price that home right from the beginning.
Yes.
Okay? We're not going to work our way to that price. We're going to price it right out of the gate.
Yep.
There's a lot of these other things we're going to talk about that are going to go with that. But the first and foremost thing you have to do today, you got to be right on your price, people. Okay? Yep. Everybody trying to live in several years ago, getting whatever they want to get for their house is outdated. It's not working. It's not going to work. As a matter of fact, it's going to be bad if you price too high to start. Would you agree with that?
Exactly, because I just had this conversation with some folks yesterday because we just got under contract on a house, and I'm trying to think right off the top of my head. It was pretty much a $60,000 price reduction.
Wow.
Okay, that they went under contract yesterday. I had the buyers, of course. So, but I'm saying, like, in people's minds, again, we just came through one of the craziest real estate times ever. And even buyers, I'm saying, have got used to looking and saying, okay, that house should have been sold by now. Right. That should have been sold by now. Right. So they're thinking in their minds when they see these homes sitting on the market for a while that something has to be wrong with the home.
No doubt.
You are doing your house a disservice if you are trying to go with that philosophy, because you're going to run people away.
Yes.
I understand the whole thing that let's start it high. We can always come down. I totally understand that. Too. You don't understand, though, from our side. I'm saying from a buyer's agent side of what we hear. That's what we hear. Something's got to be wrong with his house. Yes. It's been on the market for 3 months. They've already reduced the price $15,000.
Correct.
So you're making your house appear very bad to the public.
Something's wrong.
Yes.
That's automatically what pops in their mind because they've seen the last market in the last couple of years too.
Yeah.
And they know, hey, if I see something I like, I got to get on it fast because the good stuff's going. Can I tell y'all the good stuff's still going?
Yeah.
And the good 100%. Stuff is the stuff that's priced right. The things that we're going to talk to you about today. Those sellers looked at that and said, let's do this right to start with. I'm not chasing a rabbit here. I'm not running this out. I want to get it done. Let's get it done. That does not mean, folks, they're cutting the bottom out of the price.
Right.
They're just pricing it right when it starts. Yeah. Pricing and placing what today's market value is on that home. Now, here's where that becomes critical, okay? It becomes critical because I want you to realize, listening to this podcast today, pricing it right from the beginning allows these things to happen. The most exposure your house is ever going to get, ever, in its history of being listed, is the first 2 weeks being on the market.
Yep.
That's when it's going to show up new on every website known to mankind. New listing, new listing, new listing. Well, everybody that's been looking want to look at the new ones, okay? Right. The longer it sits, it just falls into being everything else.
Yeah.
Everybody's done saw it. It's been out on every website there is. You've already had your open houses on it. You've did your marketing blitz. It just goes into space.
Yeah.
It just falls off the earth.
Yeah.
It just goes away. And people look at it and say, nice house, but there ain't no way I'm giving that for it. On to the next one. It begins to sit. It begins to sit. It begins to sit. Then what happens, because you priced too high, you start getting nervous as a seller. We start getting nervous as your agent, but the buyer's sitting out there thinking that thing's still sitting there. They got to be something wrong. But I like that house.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go look. I want to go see what is up with this house. They go look at the house. They find out the only thing wrong with it was these people priced it wrong. This is a nice house. But you know what happens in that offer? You're going to get a low offer.
That's what I'm going to say.
They're coming
you are
in
preparing,
low.
yeah. And you think to yourself, I've already dropped it anyways. Yes. You know what I mean? So because it has been on there 3-4 months, you've already had to make those price adjustments just to even keep it relevant, keep it in front of people. And now you're getting to where you're pretty close probably to your bottom.
Yes.
And now you're getting people to come look at it because you're in the playing field at least. And now you're going to have to probably expect that first offer is going to cut you deep, man. Yes. It's going to come rough.
Yes. And again, at this point, where are you financially? Why are you selling? What was the reasons? You got a new job. You paint yourself in a box that makes you kind of feel like I got to take this low offer. Yes, my house is probably worth more than that, but because I've done this slow reduction down, I've got to my bottom now, because I've really realized myself what those guys on that podcast were telling me. I should have done it right from the beginning and just got away with it. I've paid 4 months more mortgage payments. I've had the upkeep of the house, and it's just fell down the list, because if you're paying attention to the real estate market, you know right now inventory is growing rapidly.
Yes.
Rapidly.
Yep.
Part of that is because homes are sitting on the market longer, but people now are starting to see, hey, this is the normal real estate market I'm getting in. And your house falls down the list. So not only do they cut you deep on that offer, but they're also going to be a lot more picky on that home inspection. They're going to be a lot more needy about concessions and closing costs and buyer expenses and rate buy downs. And they're coming for the farm here, because they're looking at it. These sellers is in a must move situation.
Right.
They're playing under my rules now. And they feel like you've lost your edge.
Right.
As far as kind of being in control. And depending on where you are in I've got to sell, they might be right. Who knows? They may be right on what their assumption is. So again, how to sell your house fast for top dollar in today's market. I'm talking about last year, and I ain't talking about next year. I'm talking about right now. If you're putting your home on the market, get it priced right from the start. Now, quickly, how do you do that, Dave? How does people make sure they get their house priced right now?
All right, so I'm gonna answer yours. Then I've got something I got to say too. So, how do you know that you get it priced right from the beginning? Is I'm going to say that there's 2 ways that you can guarantee that you're going to at least be in the right. Number one for sure. If you want to 100% sure know exactly where you stand, hire yourself an appraiser. Let them come and appraise your house. They'll give you the value. Okay, they will give you exactly what the bank is going to appraise it for, and what the market value is going to be. Number 2, you don't have to pay for this one here. Okay, contact a realtor. Contact a realtor in your area. Let them come out and look at your house. They're going to take pretty much the same numbers, and they're going to go through and they're going to give you the market value that the appraiser is going to give you. Yes. This is completely free. It is for us anyways. I don't know if other realtors charge about that.
We don't.
Yeah, we do not charge for that. So we can come out and look at your house and come back, crunch some numbers. Don't expect an answer right then and there on the spot.
No.
We're going to come back, look at numbers, look and see what the market says that your home should sell for.
Sure.
So here's what I would say. Think about this though, even as a seller, okay? If you get that realtor to come out, and I'm going to get some backlash over this too, but if you're getting that realtor to come out, they're looking at your house and they come back and will throw a number out. They say it's worth $350. Okay. Can that realtor list your house for $450? Absolutely. Realtor, talking to you now. Should you list that house for $450? No, you should not. Okay.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's okay to turn some down. It's okay for that. All right, so we wouldn't say that. But seller, listen what we've been seeing. This is just number 1. Okay.
Yes.
listen to what we've told you. This is the way you're going to make your house look. Do you want to go through that? Ask yourself that question.
You have to do that.
You have to.
You have to ask yourself those questions. That's just real life stuff coming from practicing this every single day of our life.
Yeah.
That's just what happens, okay? You want it right, start it right.
Here's what I was going to say about, so yesterday I got a phone call from a fairly new lender in the area, and he said, "Hey, I know you guys keep up with a lot of this market stuff that's going on." And he's like, I got a question. He said, I'm kind of new to this whole lending stuff, but he said, why is it that you see some houses come on the market? And he said, I mean, they've got 2 and 3 offers in the first day.
Yeah.
And then he said, and then you see some that's been on there 5 months. And he's like, I don't get it. Like, what's the deal? And I was like, some people decided to price it right from the get-go.
Yes.
And it drove competition to where now you've got people bidding on your house. And you've got the sums who think that let's start high. And those are the houses that are sitting on market. He said, let me ask you this. That makes a lot of confusion for buyers, don't it? Mm-hmm. Like, they don't know what to expect at this point. Is people reducing price? Are they not reducing price? Is it going to sell today? Is it going to sell in 4 months? He's like, confusion's not a good thing to have, is it? And I said, I mean, no. I mean, I guess I never really thought about that, but no, it's not good for the buyer not to know really what's going on, because they don't know if you've come out of the gate and priced it right. They're going to come in and try to cut you $50,000 off the bat. But the market obviously has proven that it's going to work itself out. But he was like, I just had to know that, because he said, I don't understand why that's happening. Why some sitting forever? Why some selling super quick? And again, I said, moral of the story is, some people just decided to do it right from the get-go.
Yes, and building up on that, and then we'll go to number 2. A good buyer's agent, you've done this many times for your people. It's done a lot. Mm-hmm. One of the most asked questions we get from a buyer, they go look at a house, and because of what you just mentioned, the word confusion that's in the real estate market right now, because of what is these pricing issues people are making, a buyer is confused. Mm-hmm. So the most asked question we get is like, hey, I mean, is this house priced right?
Like, you think it's worth that?
I love the house.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great neighborhood. I want everything is right, perfect. But I mean, like, is this house worth what they're asking? Because I don't want to do something crazy. I don't want to put an offer and pay for an appraisal and it come back and say, nope, it ain't. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those buyers are now asking us as agents, could you check that for me and let me see what you find?
Right.
They're wanting us to do that CMA, that market analysis you were just talking about, for them on the buying side.
Absolutely.
And a good buyer's agent is going to
should be doing that.
And if the analogy you just used, the 450 versus 350, they're going to show them that.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen? That buyer's going to the next one. Mm-hmm. That buyer, though, that sees, yes, this house is priced correctly, they're going in. If you watch the market today closely like we do, you will see the houses that are moving today, that are moving well, are the ones that are priced right out of the gate.
Yeah.
It is a major issue for you in selling your house if you do not price it right to start with.
Now, let's talk about this really quick, and then we'll move. But the good news is that there's probably some people sitting there thinking right now, like, well, sure, you're saying that because you're representing the buyer. We represent sellers too. Okay. We do this same exact thing for sellers. But what I'm saying is, I've not seen, knock on some wood, find somewhere, I've not had a seller yet that has lost a penny. They have all made money on the purchase that they made 2 years ago, a year ago. Yes. They are still making money when they sell that house. Okay. No, I ain't seen nobody lose yet.
Great thought.
Now, they ain't making that 100,000 that they might have wanted when they priced it at 450 instead of 350 where it should be, but they made money at 350.
I agree.
Okay. So if you need to sell your house, you're still going to make some money.
I agree. 100% price the thing right to start. Give us number 2.
Number 2, super simple, but again, we're just talking about ways to get the most out of your house.
This is proven too.
This is proven, but it's so simple and it's overlooked so often. It's simply just boost your curb appeal. Okay. Very simple to do. Yes. Spend a little time outside. Again, the weather's getting beautiful right now. Spend a little time outside, get a little color, put some mulch in your flower bed, gravel, whatever you got out there. Pressure wash your sidewalks, pressure wash the house. That is all this is very inexpensive stuff.
Sure.
But we say this all the time. First impressions matter so much. I literally had a phone call before I walked into this room today to this podcast about a lady who is looking to buy a house, looked at some pictures last night online. She done a drive-by this morning on her way to work, and she didn't like the way it looked from the outside.
Right.
She's not going to go look at that house because she did not like the way it looked on the outside.
Correct.
Okay. They're never going to know what the inside looks like. We can take pictures, doctor them up as much as we want. They're going to come to your house. Okay.
Sure.
If they pull in and you've got junk piled up in your yard, okay,
they devalue it.
They are devaluing it right now. They're thinking, man, if they're this messy on the outside, what's it like when I go in there?
Yes.
They cleaned it up one time for a picture.
Correct.
So you got to keep that stuff in your mind. It's inexpensive to do these things. But again, first impressions matter. You cannot put a price on that.
There's no doubt about it. You talked about the outside. Perfect. Because, I mean, most people looking for a house, they see it online. Okay, this is over here on First Banana Street. Let's hop in the car and go check the neighborhood out before we ever go.
Yeah.
Before we ever call and see if we want to go on the inside, let's do a drive-by. Mm-hmm. Most people do that.
They do.
So they're going by, they're going through. If again, it looks bad, they're getting that in their mind. They're thinking those things like, what does the inside? So you talked about the outside. I'm going to talk about the inside.
Yep.
I'm going to jump on the inside for a minute because curb appeal is very important. The inside is very important also. Okay?
Yeah.
Not only for what we're going to talk about next, so I'll save that or maybe lead into it. Who knows? But the inside's important because we need to take some good marketing pictures to show the home, not your stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think what's lost all the time in homes being on the market is they do clean it up for the pictures. Okay. They get that. Pictures got to look good. But because the pictures and the curb appeal was right, people make the decision, oh, I want to see more. And then they come to look at the inside. Mm-hmm. And the inside looks like you haven't cleaned it. It's there's just stuff everywhere, and they can't see that house for your stuff.
Yeah.
And they walk in, and the walk-in leads to they're super excited to come in. And when they walk through the doors, they see all of this stuff you have, and we're being nice. Mm-hmm. And they automatically are let down right there. Mm-hmm. The feeling of the whole entire home, what this is, just changed in these people's mind. You see this happen all the time.
Yeah.
Like they are let down. You want people to walk in and think, oh my goodness,
right,
this is as great as, if not better, now that I'm on the inside, than what I saw in these pictures. Yep. Outside, you got to have it. But inside, you can't forget about that. You can't take that picture and just think, well, they'll overlook my stuff.
Right.
Get up 10 minutes before it's time to go to work a little bit early to pick up the stuff before you leave the house today, because you never know when the phone's going to ring. And the person that will buy your home is going to walk through that door. But, man, it was a bad day to walk through the door.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't pick up.
Real life story here, okay? Real life story is I had a house one time I had it on the market. I've had this from the buyer's side too, but I had a house one time in the market. Man and a woman they'd split up, and not knocking men, but this guy just was not a good house cleaner.
Right.
And so because of that, I mean, it was so hard to even get an offer on the house. Mm-hmm. So when we did, like, he didn't get exactly what he wanted for that house. Well, he again, end of the day, made money, but he didn't get what he could have got for that house had he just took some time to clean the house. Because when people, again, they walk in from a buyer, when they walk in a house, they are looking for reasons to not give you what you're asking for that house.
Right.
So when they walk in, they think, my goodness, you know what I mean? This place is a mess.
Yes.
Automatically, whether there's anything technically, physically wrong with the house or not, they think there is.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We've been through 2 of the 4 of proven strategies that you need to make sure you're doing with your home, or you're thinking about putting your home on the market. If you want to get it sold fast and for top dollar in today's market, these first two are good ones. Here's the third and the fourth one. We won't spend a lot of time. They kind of go together, so we may even lump them just because we're running out of time. But your photos, your videos, your let's just lump them together.
Yeah, just marketing.
Your marketing of the house has to be good. It's got to be
spot on.
Now, I could go on a soapbox on this, and I'm not going to, but there's thoughts out there. Do I get a professional photographer versus the realtor taking the pictures versus what? There's thoughts all over the board on that. Mm-hmm. Listen to me. The pictures have to be good. Okay.
Yeah. No matter what, it doesn't matter who that
person is. I've seen good ones from realtors and bad ones from realtors.
Absolutely.
I've seen good ones from pros. I've seen bad ones from pros. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter who does them. What's most important is the quality of them.
Right.
Can people see your house? Is the picture showcasing this room, this kitchen, this bedroom? I don't want to picture the toilet. I want to picture the bathroom.
Right. Yeah.
Those things you look at and say, that's important. Okay. Mm-hmm. More now than ever in the history of me being in the real estate business for the last 18 years, people are now buying houses more online, I'm going to call it, than they ever have. Okay. Moving across the country, buying homes. Those pictures are important. But on top of those pictures is this thing that everybody likes to do now. You're watching it right now on video.
Yep.
You need a good video tour of this house also. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's important. Okay. That's important because there's two things. We've said this since the inception of us being in real estate. Okay. The start of it all. Two things sell houses: price, marketing. Mm-hmm. That's what sells houses.
Yep.
Price it right, market it right, it will happen. Yep. Okay. So going on to number 3, you got to have good photos. You got to have good videos. You got to have those tours that people can look at your home. Okay. Yep. Leads us to number 4, which is marketing matters.
Yep.
Talk just for a little bit about when we say marketing, what are we talking about?
Again, we're going to start out simple first. Open houses, virtual tours, those things like that. Just, you might consider them small, but those are just small, I'm going to say more local marketing things. But again, so let's talk about, these are things that you do. But social media, everybody in the world is on social media.
Best marketing.
Your home should be on social media too. Yes. So make sure that your realtor's putting on there, hey, spend couple $100, man, and do a paid ad on social media. It's going to get more eyes.
Yes.
Do that. That's just marketing your property. Again, we could spend a whole day talking about the strategies behind that, but nutshell version, put it on social media, pay to boost that thing.
There's no doubt about it. And don't just be limited to one
platform
avenue of social media. You got Facebook, you got YouTube, you got Twitter, you got TikTok, you got Instagram, you got LinkedIn. Those places have millions upon millions upon millions upon probably billions of eyeballs that will find your house on that. It is the best marketing platform in the world for you to be able to use because that's where we all spend the majority of our time.
Yep.
It's there. And so with the targeting methods and opportunities that exist, you need to be asking these questions. What are we talking about today? How to sell your house fast for top dollar in today's real estate market. It has to be marketed on those platforms. We got to get it there, y'all. We got to get it there. Now, you follow these. These are 4 proven strategies that they're big deals when it comes to getting your house sold.
Yeah.
You can kind of lump all these into this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
You can't do one and mix the other one. You could have the best price house in the world. If you got bad marketing, ain't nobody going to know your house for sale except your neighbor, and they ain't buying it.
Right.
So it all works together. Like it all is one swoop in to this is what I got to do to get it right. You see people, again, have good pictures, but it's 100,000 too high. That's bad.
Yeah.
So make sure you get these things right. You're putting your house on the market in this spring market right now of what's going on. If you do all these things, you ain't going to have to worry about price reductions. You ain't going to have to worry about lowball offers.
Right.
You're going to be right from the gate. You're going to be right from the start. It's going to get your home sold fast for that top dollar. Not a lot of hassle in today's real estate market.
Mm-hmm.
This is stuff you need to pay attention to.
Yep.
Hopefully the information we've gave today to you all is beneficial to you. If you like this information, you want more of this information, make sure you like, subscribe to whatever channel platform you're watching us or listening to us on, as these new episodes come out on a weekly basis for your viewing and listening enjoyment, but also for your knowledge. It's our little way of communicating the facts to each and every one of you. That does it for us on this episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. For Dave Elkins, I'm Mike Elkins with Elite Realty Group in Morristown, Tennessee. If we can help you in your real estate journey, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be glad to serve you. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day.